You know, I was thinking, a lot of things have changed in model railroading, even since when I was a kid in the 90s. Most model railroad locomotives are high-end and highly detailed, and most are at least DCC ready. And that got me thinking, is there a bad train made anymore in an HO scales? Hey everybody, my name's Jimmy. Welcome to Coffee and Trains. Today I am drinking some more of that Kauai coffee. I found some more of it. If you want to tell me what kind of coffee you are drinking, you can leave it in the comments below and you just might get featured like these guys right here. Cheers, guys. In the old days, there were quite a few budget brands of model trains, and you got what you paid for. Model Power, Tyco, and even Lifelike in some categories. Bachman also fell into this category back in the day. A lot of these locomotives in rolling stock were plastic shells over can motors or fully plastic rolling stock with cheap metal weights. The couplers were either hook and loop for HO scale or rapido for N scale, and those were really your only options. There was a definite differentiation between cheap and the more expensive. But the hobby has changed. The detail and accuracy became the driving forces. More and more model railroaders wanted to build accurate representations of sections of railroads and less simple loops of track. This really stems from the explosion of digital photography and videography and the rise of online resources. It's so incredibly easy now to find photos and videos of locomotives and rolling stock to see exactly how they're constructed and what they look like. The fact that some brands like Scale Trains had to differentiate between their super detailed rivet counter line and their hyper detailed museum quality line is proof that we are truly living in a different era of our hobby, the era of hyper realism. That realism has demanded high functionality as well. Gone are the days that a cheap plastic F unit with a grain of rice bulb would be satisfactory. We want the roof details, the digital controls, and accurate sounds. I personally never thought I would be Googling to figure out what exact horn to use on my New York Central F units so that I could program the digital decoder properly. We have ultra low speed operations from digital control and better motors. So let's take a look and see if there are any truly bad trains out there anymore. This is a Bachman RS3. Now, Bachman used to have a mixed reputation, but their standalone products now are really solid. This little diesel was one of the first I bought for my layout and is still a solid runner. I have never had any issues with it whatsoever. Bachman rolling stock has really stepped up too. This hopper has metal wheels, good detail, and body-mounted couplers, which, by the way, is a way more expensive way to manufacture items. We also have crisp, clean paint lines that aren't misaligned, but this is just the start. Let's step up to the gold standard of reliability in my domain, N-scale. That's Kado. Kado trains are truly some of the most solid investments you can make in N-scale. They're well detailed, they run phenomenally well, they are easily upgradable to DCC if you don't buy them with a decoder in them. Kado is almost always a sure thing when it comes to reliability. You also have brands like Atlas, Scale Trains, Broadway Limited. These brands make more locomotives that are at least on par or if not even more detailed than Kado. Scale Trains has Operator, which is about the same quality as Kado, Rivet Counter, which has extreme detail, and Museum Quality, which is insanely detailed, and frankly, I would be scared to take it out of the box if I owned one. Broadway Limited puts the same level of quality in their details, plus their sound is fantastic. There's very few ways that you can go wrong with new model trains these days. Manufacturers have listened and watched us modelers shift from the cheap and toy-like to the sleek and realistic. If you were buying used, I would tend to lean away from Model Power, old Bachman, and some Lifelike engines. They may run fine, but you never know what you'll get. So in conclusion, it's pretty hard to find new trains that are bad these days. You may have the one-off train that has a glitch from the factory, but not a consistently terribly running line of trains. We are truly living in a golden age of highly detailed model railroading. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Jimmy from the DIY and Digital. Stay safe, be kind, and happy railroading.